Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas. Aaron Phillips, Matt Mullen, the Chief. Chief is back. We have a very special welcome back edition for the Chief. We're not hearing anything in our headsets, ladies and gentlemen. So
I can hear us on Facebook. We're definitely on.
You can, but nothing in the headset. So we're kind of Yeah, right. That's very true. Anyway, welcome back, Duke, Jason, Hans. Thank you, Hans. The intro was long because we had a little delay getting started. So we apologize for that delay. Thomas is in the chat room. 702-329-6947 is our phone number. Press 1 to come direct into the studio. So thank you for joining us, making us part of your day. If you are watching us on Facebook or any of the visual platforms, we appreciate it. You can also download the Go Live Vegas mobile app if you're going to take us on the go and need to leave and can't watch us visually. But here's a new one. If you have Alexa, all you have to do is ask Alexa, Go Live Vegas Radio. Play Go Live Vegas Radio. And guess what? Your Alexa unit will bring it up. Isn't that cool? It's terrific. We have no hearing in our headsets. That's because Scott Hosey just left the studio. So we're kind of playing blind to ourselves here in terms of vocals. So anyway,
gentlemen,
welcome back.
It's nice to be back. I'm sorry I missed last week, but
hey, listen, you
but it is what it is. You know, I'd rather be here healthy, wealthy, and wise. Well, I don't know about all three of them, but I'm just glad to be back, and I'm ready to roll.
All right, and I know you are. And the donuts today
donuts
tasted much better than they did last week when I brought them in.
You know, I meant to ask you, how much? I only paid $15.
Oh, you don't want to know what I paid for two half dozen boxes at Smith's up the road.
I paid $15 for mine.
Actually, I think that's what I paid for the two half dozen boxes.
I get the discount. My boy gives me the discount.
The Smith's donuts and the actual Krispy Kreme donuts are two different things.
Normally they're
I brought in Krispy Kreme. Yeah, exactly. But they bring in Krispy Kremes.
Normally they're 18 something now, but you
get your AARP discount.
I get a discount.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Listen, before we get started with I Hear Voices, a couple of things we want to mention before. We're actually going to introduce a brand new segment that we kind of teased last time we were on the air with Matt. We'll get to that in a moment. But just before we went on the air, Matt notified us of a former Glow wrestler that passed away. Why don't you share with us the information? Do you have the information there?
Not right on me, but Attila the Hun passed away this morning.
Yeah, there she is.
Late yesterday.
There she is. Real name was Dee Booher, Booher. We hope we're pronouncing that right. And I'm sure April and our friends over at Glow got the news and will be sharing some thoughts. So thoughts and prayers go out to Attila's family.
Sure do.
Man, could you imagine her and April, the Royal Hawaiian, going at it in the ring?
If I'm not mistaken, and I may be speaking out of the side of my mouth on this one, but I think her and April were tag team.
Really?
At one time.
Well, April, if you're listening, I'd say call in. You can. I don't know if we'll be able to hear you, but certainly in the chat room, we'd love to know your history. Okay. With that, last time we were on the air, one of our favorite things we like to do before we get into rumors, for those who may not know, and it's probably only about 3 of you that don't know, that Matt actually works at security down at Neonopolis here at Fremont Street. And we usually like to find out some crazy stories. So we developed a brand new segment, which Aaron will throw the screen up. We have this recorded, but today I'm going to do it live. And we're going to make a whole big intro with it. So here you go. Can you throw the picture up there? With the enforcer, Matt Mullen.
I like that.
You like that?
Do you have a story for us?
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right.
There was a drunk guy over by our stairs, and he dropped his phone in, the crack of where the stairs is, the rail. And instead of just bending over and, grabbing under the rail and grabbing his phone, he threw his whole body over the rail and got stuck in this little tiny space that the fire department had to physically come and get this guy out.
Did they have to cut the railing at all or anything? Or
no, they had to drag him towards the middle of the stairs and kind of yanked him out, but his head was slightly bigger than the thing.
Like
so
getting your head stuck in the banister?
one good yank and a probably headache between the drinking and the pulling later.
Like using the forceps to deliver a baby to squeeze him out?
Yep.
Wow. We're good with the headsets now if you want to go back on. So our headsets are now back on. So call in 702-329-6947, 855-502-4321. Press the number 1 to come talk to us. We got a full slate of conversation today. I'm sure you could probably guess what some of our main topics are, but there's a lot going on in the world of pro wrestling. So please, we want to hear from you. Chiefs Rants coming up later. Of course, our birthday celebration coming up at the end of the second hour. So gentlemen, shall we get started?
Let's rock and roll.
It is time for I Hear Voices. All right, number 1. Jeff Hardy supposedly was going to go to NXT before his release. It's always easy to say stuff like that, hindsight, right, gentlemen?
That makes no sense to me. If they were NXT's on this whole get rid of all the old stuff mentality, why would they bring in a veteran like Jeff Hardy?
You know, my thought, if Jeff was going back down to NXT, which I could possibly see happening now that AJ's gone down there to wrestle Waller. So it could be a possibility. But I don't understand why you're sending your quality, top-notch wrestlers back down to NXT. That just doesn't make sense when you need them on your roster up at the main shows. Okay, you definitely need them up there because their creative writing still sucks. So
Now, I saw a quick headline come through my phone today, and I didn't get a chance to read it, but if I read it correctly in terms of the title, Jeff Hardy may retire from wrestling. Did you guys see that story pop across?
Yes,
I didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Did you read the article? Because I didn't.
No, I
All right.
didn't.
So I don't want to go further into that because I didn't read the article to get the details. If anybody in our chat room did see that article and could call in and share us what the article is about, saying he may not want to wrestle anymore, be curious to know what the details are with that. By the way, Thomas Burnett, maybe AJ is playing the Jeff role.
That could be.
That's a great point, Thomas. By the way, Thomas wants to know, he goes, what the hell? I thought it was the big boss man of TCA was the name. So we'll still work in progress. But anyway, so maybe that is true. Maybe Hardy took the spot, AJ's taking the spot that Hardy was going to do if that was true.
Here's the reality, and I've got something written down on a note, and I might as well bring it up now.
Sure.
If AJ's gone down to NXT, okay, they've lost. Roddy lost. Okay, Roderick Strong lost. Ciampa lost. What are they going to do with those two fellas right there
Royal Rumble.
in story time at NXT? Now, I agree with you. They're probably going to be at Royal Rumble. Okay, no doubt in my mind, because they don't have 30 good wrestlers, as do the women, and we'll talk about that later. But in all honesty, what are they going to do with Roderick Strong? What are they going to do with Tommaso Ciampa?
All Elite.
Are they going to release them?
I could see him releasing them.
I mean, I'm being realistic, you know. And with AJ going down, is it time that AJ's going to retire now?
I don't think so. Didn't he just re-sign a contract within the last year for 5 more years that supposedly is going to be his last contract?
Supposedly,
so.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing, releasing Ciampa and Roderick Strong. Listen, we saw this week, and we're kind of getting ahead just a little bit.
And I'm sorry
No. That's fine. That's fine. That nobody's safe.
No.
Period. In NXT. Okay. The William Regal, Samoa Joe, twice in less than a year, the whole thing, which lends itself to a lot of other questions. And I saw an interesting one come up, which I'll save this for later discussion about Impact and WWE, as we saw one very surprising entrant. In my opinion, it's very surprising in the Ladies Royal Rumble match.
Well,
True.
Right? So
and Thomas just threw in Roderick Strong just signed an extension. So again, I'm going to say, is Roderick Strong and Tommaso Ciampa going to stay in NXT, or are they going to go elsewhere, or are they going to the main roster?
I think with McIntyre out now, I think opens up a door for Ciampa to come up to the main roster and take a spot for the while.
But many times my brother to the right here has said Ciampa does not want to
He
leave
has, yes.
NXT.
That is true. And he has stated that he'd rather retire, and that was a couple of years ago. So,
Yeah.
but how long is his contract for? Not that contracts mean anything, obviously.
Crack research.
You know?
How long's Ciampa's contract, please?
With the right amount of money from Vince, he can be like, "You sure you don't want to be on SmackDown, bud?"
Exactly.
But there's another.
Good morning, Garth.
Another topic I want to talk about later on today too. But I'm going to do it as my rant.
Okay.
And then we'll discuss it.
Excellent. All right, next topic.
Ding, ding, ding.
Rumors that Seth was supposed to win the WWE Championship at day one. Now, we can save that more when we talk about the day one results because I think we'll all have a lot of comments to make. But that was the rumor. Seth was going to win the day one and get the belt.
Makes
Thoughts?
me more annoyed about the whole Brock thing then, because I really wanted Seth to win that match to begin with.
I don't even want to discuss that pay-per-view. That was so terrible. Can I ask?
And yet, a lot of people thought it was a great pay-per-view. Listening on, listening to commentators on social media. But
Well,
no. I'm
What
just
do
saying.
they know? Hey, I'm being devil's advocate
Yeah,
today. I was
absolutely.
gone a week, so I'm gonna give hell to where hell's due. Quick question though, what is what happened? Did you watch SmackDown last night? Did you get a chance to
Parts
watch?
of it.
Not live, no sir.
Okay. What's up with Seth walking in on Roman last night at the end of the show?
Now it's Roman versus Seth at the Royal Rumble.
Is that what's probably going to come down?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was funny. I saw that part, and everyone's like, "What a weird knock." He was actually knocking the Shield theme.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Go ahead. No, finish your thought.
and no, I don't want to finish my thought because it'll give away my Chiefs rant today. So
Make sure you jot down what you're going to say so you don't forget. So that
All right.
37.5 3/4 halfheimers doesn't kick in. Oh, he's got a tablet full of paper written down here. All right, so let us keep moving then. Last rumor.
ding, ding, ding.
Rumor is it that Brock Lesnar refused to work with Jinder Mahal.
I don't even know what kind of program those two would have, but
Was it when Jinder had the belt on that he wanted to work, or was it the other way around?
might have been the other way around.
Okay.
But Jinder's a pretty good hand, and he's a good wrestler. He's got a lot of heat. So I don't know why Brock wouldn't want to work with him, but I don't know.
You mean now?
No, this was back in the day.
Well, wasn't Brock a bad guy too?
Yeah,
So was Jinder. You don't put
Sure.
two bad guys together.
true.
Okay, I'm just, I'm just playing devil's advocate. You guys always bitch at me. Well, you can't put two dead.
You're right.
You
No,
can't
I agree
put
with
two
you.
bad guys together. Well, here
No,
it is.
but I
right
agree.
here.
But I
Shit.
agree with you at that point.
I'm getting wound.
No, that's good. He's got 2
wound
weeks.
Up, man.
He's got 2 weeks built up in
I'm
him.
getting wound up.
I'm gonna like this.
You better have that censor button ready there, Mr. Producer. There you go. But
That
no,
ain't gonna
seriously,
do no
no.
good.
But you are right. Generally, you don't put faces and you don't put heels together. But in a match like that, let's do what if. What if Jinder and Brock did have a series together? Who would end up being the heel? One of them would have to be looked at as the face. How was Brock looked at that time?
No,
Or would you have two heels go at it in that
two
case?
heels go at it, and Brock be the bigger heel.
Okay.
And they just knock the shit out of each other. I'm okay with that. I've always been okay with that.
You.
Stick that thing up your ear. Anyway, that's how I look at it. You put two heels in together, you put two good guys in together. I don't care. You're going to have a wrestling match, and if you have good writers and good writing and your wrestlers are doing what they need to do, guess what, folks? You're going to have some good matches.
There you
That's
go.
What's
how
the
I
match
look
they
at it.
just announced? Seth versus Roman. They're both heels.
Hey, and I'm okay with that, man.
But I think though, with Paul Heyman being fired, right?
By who?
And the by Roman a couple of weeks ago.
I think
that
he's
now
going-
he's back with Brock. Now, whether it's a swerve and all of that could be down
I
the
think
line.
he's going back to Roman.
Okay, could be after what we saw the other night. But
I love you, my tribal chief.
But as of right now, okay, I would see that Brock is playing more of a face role though.
I agree with that.
You know,
And I
So,
think he's going to get over with the fans.
Oh, he is over now. Is he over more now with this approach to who he is with the Mountain Men look than maybe he was before?
I think,
Oh, yeah.
I think he's getting over more because last night on SmackDown he told Heyman to shut up. If you missed it.
No, listen, he's been doing more talking on his own now, which I kind of like.
And you know what? Hey, I'm okay with that.
For the record, before we go to break, I have no interest in seeing Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Does nothing for me.
I'm more excited for that match than I am for Lesnar Roman 27.
On that note, we're going to step aside for our first break of the day. Man, we haven't even scratched the surface of all that's been going on, but you are listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere. That's Matt. Chiefs back all fired up. I'm
ready.
Aaron. Call us. We want to hear from you. We want to get your thoughts on day one, releases, AEW, whatever you want to talk about. Give us a call, 702-329-6947. But wait till after break. We'll be right back.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit hey, all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
If inspiration is the beginning, where does it lead? Experience the 2021 Mazda 3 sedan and see where inspiration can take you.
Grab the brass ring in a 2021 Mazda 3 with exclusive FSW discounts at Findlay Mazda. Get Garth today at the Valley Auto Mall.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
All right, welcome back to TCA. Oh, the phone's already ringing before we come out of break. Calling us on the line right now, the Desert Shark himself. Mr. Shark, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you all today?
Good.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm doing great.
What's up?
Hey, you watching this or are you just listening to us?
I am doing. I'm watching it right now.
Good.
I'm sending a hug out to you, my brother.
I'm sending you a hug out too. I'll see you January. Are you gonna be there January 14th?
Yes, sir.
All right, you'll see me there, sir.
All right, buddy.
What you got for us?
So I'm gonna talk about a little bit of AEW.
Okay.
With them doing the whole TBS, makes perfect sense because they're on a new network and they're trying to, bring, TBS fans to have them like, hey, there's this new thing and come enjoy it. Kind of like how AEW Dynamite brought in back in 2019. So they'll get that out of the way. And to me, I think the new going over to TBS is going to work well with them, especially now that TNT got taken over by hockey.
Yep.
So
Makes
we're
a
going to
lot
get
of
that out of the way. That's my 2 cents.
No. You're totally right. With the exception of AEW is still on TNT on Friday nights at 10 o'clock
For Rampage?
Yeah.
for Rampage.
But Dynamite's moving
Yeah,
on.
Rampage.
Dynamite, I totally agree with you. And you know what? I said what they should have done, and this is my opinion. They should have gone to Saturday at 6:05. Okay? Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, wrestling fans, go look it up. Go look your history up. But 6:05 live on WTBS, Saturday nights.
There you go. Throw back to some history. Thank you, Mr. Shark. Appreciate you as always.
No problem, guys.
Thanks, bud. Be safe.
Enjoy the show.
If they were tired
Love
of the
you, brother.
WCW comparisons, they would just be trolling the hell out of people if they were to do that.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to give a special shout out to everybody listening on the Go Live Vegas mobile app right now. Thank you so very much for making us part of your day as you're running around town listening in. We appreciate it. And Alexa. That's right. Alexa, play Go Live Vegas Radio. If you got that service as well, we thank you. 702-329-6947. Just call in and say, hey, tell us how you're listening to us right now. We'd love to know. Okay. All right, well, let's do this. Let's get into some day one conversation. I know it's not your biggest pay-per-view of the year, Chief. By the way, do you notice
It has
now-
to be his favorite pay-per-view of the year. It's been the only one so far.
That's true. But you know they're not calling it pay-per-views anymore.
No.
Premium event or whatever, or some terminology now. So they're not even calling it a pay-per-view anymore. Anyway.
Call it peacock shit.
All right, there you go. The
Day late and a dollar short.
The pre-show match was a tag team, or at least started off that way. Sheamus and Ridge Holland defeated Cesaro and Ricochet, but that tag team setup really didn't last very long due to a broken nose.
Yeah, Ridge Holland got hurt again.
Hi, Brandy.
And Sheamus had to carry the match, but
Morning,
it was a good
sister.
match for what it was.
I wonder if it changed, because imagine if Sheamus lost in a two-on-one handicap in that scenario. I wonder what the original outcome was going to be in the tag setup. And now, since it was a handicap match, I wonder if they change it to keep Sheamus looking strong for whatever the reason. I'm just curious, but
I think Sheamus and Holland were going to win either way.
you think so?
They've turned Ricochet and Cesaro into freaking jobbers all of a sudden, so
They've got to do something with Cesaro.
You think when Holland gets back, he's going to get a push now?
I think him and Sheamus will get a push someone out of it, yeah.
Maybe going after the tag team belts?
They'd have to get him off the Usos, but
Yeah, but that could be a good series of matches, though. The strength of Sheamus. and-
If the writing is done correctly and
Very
they
true.
build the storyline.
Thank you, Brandy, for the anniversary wishes. Thank you.
Totally.
Premium live event. Thank
Yeah.
you, Sean. That's the new terminology that they have to use. They
I
can't
don't-
say pay-per-view anymore.
Premium shit. Anyway, hey folks, if you don't know today, I'm going to take a minute of my time from the Chiefs rant. The guy next to me here, this guy that has a shirt on, acknowledge me. Today's his anniversary. I believe it's 33 years.
That is correct.
And so I asked him earlier, I said, what the hell you doing here, man?
My wife's working out. What
And
am I
he
going to
said-
do
Yeah,
home alone?
that's what he told me. His wife's working out. But anyway, happy
Thank you, my
anniversary,
brother. Appreciate
brother.
it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Also, thank you. It's also Elvis's birthday for anybody that's Elvis's fans, by the way. But thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll be on my toilet later celebrating him.
All right, let's get into the main.
With the plunger or
That's
the
right.
flush?
Yeah, exactly. 20 flush salute. Okay. The Usos defeated the New Day to retain the SmackDown Championship Tag Team Champs. I thought it was a good match, for what it was.
Those two always put on a banger of a
Always.
match.
Yeah.
So here's a good question. What's the number one tag team in professional wrestling right now? Out of all of the
Out of everything?
Out of
Out
everything.
of everybody?
Out of WWE, AEW, New Japan, Impact. Yeah. I mean, if you saw the show with when our boy got hurt, and then you see Jurassic Park win the belts, and then they shoot to the stage, and you see all those tag teams up there. Then you got the Usos, you got New Day, you got
Sean says the Briscoes.
there's another one, the Briscoes. Wouldn't it be nice? And I'm just going to say,
He's chomping at you. Want me to start the Chiefs rant early?
no. I want to throw this one out there though, since Sean brought it up. Who wouldn't enjoy seeing a tag team tournament made up of the Usos, the Briscoes, New Day, FTR,
Young Bucks.
the Young Bucks?
But they're on the shelf now. One of them has COVID, I think, right?
Okay, even still,
But yes, yeah.
even
Yep,
still,
mhm.
going down the road.
Good Brothers.
There's
So
another.
you're saying current
Yeah.
active tag teams.
Yeah.
I smell another bracket. Should our other one ever finish up?
but I'm being realistic.
I don't remember what the last one was.
Who wouldn't enjoy seeing that happen? And why couldn't it happen?
Well, we know one answer from WWE's perspective, right? We know Vince is not a big fan of tag team wrestling. Not taking anything away from the Usos and RK Bro and all of that, New Day.
And there's another
RK
one,
Bro.
RK Bro. But wouldn't it be fantastic if you could see? Could you imagine the Briscoes and the Usos having a wrestling match? Holy shit!
Because it makes too much sense. That's why you'll never see it.
Well, I'm gonna
Gotta throw the Lucha Brothers in there.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
You can start the Chiefs rant now.
We could do that.
Because you made a comment. You just made a comment.
Okay.
Start the Chiefs rant.
Sean says Vince McMahon wouldn't do it, and Shant says Forbidden Door was opened by WWE. Okay, so guess what? Change of programming, ladies and gentlemen. Courtesy of the Chief being back, we have, what did you say the proper terminology is? We've lifted the time limit?
Yeah.
Right? No Broadway, though.
No.
We're going to start this week's edition of the Chiefs Rant a few minutes early because we're going to give him time to make up for last week's rant when he was not here. So it's time now for the Chiefs Rant.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Chief, and I'm ready to rant. My 3 minutes of fame is now 2:58. Anyway, what I want to rant about and what I really want to talk about to my colleagues here and to the wrestling fans that are listening. We've discussed many, many times on this dais here that wrestling companies wouldn't cross over and do allow other wrestlers from other organizations to wrestle each other. Well, I think we just saw the biggest burp to that happen last night when it was put out that Mickie James is coming back to the whatever you want to call it, WWE, WWF, WWF, I don't care what you want to call it, but she's coming back for the Royal Rumble. And evidently she's got the NWA Women's Championship. Plus she's wrestling on Impact. So I think that thought of we can't cross promotions, that's going out the door now. So in going back to what I was talking about just a minute or two ago about tag teams wrestling each other, I think with Mickie James going to wrestle in the Royal Rumble, I think we can see a tag team tournament now that Impact, AEW, WWE, and the Briscoes can get together and they can have a damn tournament now. You know what? It's time that you start giving the fans what the hell they want. And on the side note, we talked about Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Well, you know what? Wouldn't it be a damn surprise if we saw John Moxley walk the hell in there? Huh? That'd be a damn surprise. You want to talk about some breaking story? There's a breaking story right there, man. Bring the Mox in from AEW. Let him go over to WWE with Roman, knock Roman's ass around a little. That'd be awesome as shit. All right? That's how I look at it. Man, put that beep where the sun don't shine, okay? Huh? Hey, I'm going to get up out of my chair and whoop your ass in a minute. And I don't need a cane. Anyway, getting back to my story. That's my thought, okay? And I think it can happen. I really, really do. I think Tony Khan wants it. I think Impact would go open arms for it. The stumbling block, Vince McMahon. And it always has been because he's the alpha male in this storyline, so to speak. So I'm going to get off my rant now. I've had enough let's make it happen. It can happen. It's going to happen. And when we have the Royal Rumble and Mickie James is wrestling in it, okay? That's the Chiefs rant today. I got it off my chest. The Chief over and out.
By the way, while we were talking, I got a breaking news that the Royal Rumble and Mickie James's appearance is being sponsored by Glad Trash Bags. Anyway, the Chiefs rant was brought to you by Bruise Brothers Live from fabulous Las Vegas. Wrestling memorabilia and collectibles every Sunday at 2 p.m. exclusively on the Top Rope Collectibles Facebook group page. If you don't have it part of your group, hey, go to the search bar on Facebook, Top Rope Collectibles. Just search for it, and you see the guys there. We want to thank Bruise Brothers, and I'm going to clip them again when we do birthdays as well. We'll give them a little extra shout out.
That must have been
too.
a Bruce Pritchard thing with the Glad bags, huh?
No, that was wasn't that Kevin Dunn when he was still not Kevin not Kevin Dunn. Who was the guy that was fired? Mark Morano. Wasn't that from him? When
Mark Carano, yeah.
Morano.
When we had like
See, the
Alondra
card.
Blaze at like an autograph signing, we were
Right.
talking about that. They've always done that. Like if your stuff was like left in the locker room or something, they would just throw it in a bag, put your name on it, and send it in the mail.
Well, you know,
She's like, I don't know why she took it so personal. They sent me like 3 of them.
and you know, I remember if you remember watching the Rocky movie when Mickey told Rocky to go bag the guy's stuff up.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, but that's that kind of stuff is I think is a little I mean I know it's in the movies, but what you're saying to your story was not publicized. But
No.
this was highly publicized because A, everybody was sort of shocked at her release, and then B, she made it public. She took the picture on social media to say, hey, this is how we're treated. So anyway, all right, good stuff.
I'm sure
Chief.
her bank account said different of how she was treated.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, you guys, after this rant, you guys don't have any comment, huh?
No, because we were talking
I got
about it
plenty.
before. Well, so go ahead.
Go ahead.
Share away.
Not only like the tag team tournament, if like the open door would be cool, but I would pay a hefty amount of money just to put a camera in that booking meeting between Scott D'Amore, Tony Khan, and Vince McMahon of who's going to win this
Now
tournament.
that should be a paid event.
That would be a pay-per-view I would watch.
But you know what? I think us as wrestling fans, if we were to start pushing it, because let's face it, who the hell? I didn't expect Mickie James to be announced for the Royal Rumble. Not at all. But to see it happen between WWE and Impact, that and NWA, Billy Corrigan, because she's carrying the NWA belt right now.
She's only the Impact champion. She's not the NWA champion.
Or okay, and but I mean to see it happen. You know, is Vince starting to slow down a little and maybe start realizing?
I saw a couple of interesting comments on social media after it was announced about Mickie.
Yes, sir.
Now wondering if there's going to be some, I don't want to use the word merger, but some bigger relationship between WWE and Impact now.
Hey,
One buying the other, quite frankly, was what the article talked about.
Well, I'm okay,
But but think about this: the performers who left WWE signed with Impact, would they want to be hired or have the company bought, let's say, back under the WWE umbrella, unless they agree to let Impact continue to run as is, just under the corporate structure of WWE, if that's what's really possibly happening. Because I'm shocked as hell when I saw that come across in that initial message that Mickie is participating. I had to pick myself up off the floor because I thought there was no way.
I know. I was laughing at your comments.
Right, and I was looking to see if there was like, oh, this is only fake news, fake story. So Sean now he jumped on what I was talking about with the garbage bag. He says Mickie should show up at the top of the ramp with a trash bag at the Rumble and pull her gear out and put it on right from the trash bag.
Why the hell not, man? That's a great storyline, Sean.
Now Brandy follows up with something I mentioned last night, and when I saw the list come out, it only had 19 names on it.
And
My bad. I thought it was the whole card announced.
Well, even on SmackDown last night, it only come out with the ones that showed on the thing.
Which I didn't realize.
So there's still 11 more.
Yeah, absolutely. But when you look at the list, could you imagine, though, if Mickie James's name was not announced here, and all of a sudden her music hits at the Rumble as a surprise? So just like Brandy says, announcing it takes away from the surprise element of Rumble. That's why I think a lot of people love the Rumble, because you don't know who's going to come out, who returns you're going to have. So you've got, so you got that one. The Bellas. Brie Bella's coming back in this. Okay, Nick, the Bellas, regardless of what you think of them, okay, imagine if their music had hit during the
That
Rumble.
place would have went nuts.
Of course, but now you're announcing it. I mean, Kelly,
Lita.
Summer Rae, Lita, okay? I'm surprised. Listen, I'm surprised Trish's name hasn't shown up yet.
Not yet.
Yet.
But here'd be an interesting one. What if Deonna Purrazzo and Dr. Britt Baker showed up at the Royal Rumble?
I would lose my shit.
Would that see? This is what I'm talking about. This is the excitement that needs to be put back into.
How about another former,
wrestling?
still current, never lost her belt Impact champion?
I hear you.
You know, so I hope maybe they'll throw another couple of names out there, but just like in the men's Rumble, there's always the surprises. You know, we're going to see Cena show up, you know, and the typical names. But seeing these handful of names, look, to me, Kelly on this does nothing for me. Okay, she'll be in for a couple of minutes. She'll get maybe one or two, and that's it. She doesn't do anything. We know that that's a wasted spot. Granted, we know that the women's division is light and bodies are tough. I'm sorry, don't you have ladies down in NXT you can bring up that you can showcase, regardless of all the crap that's going on with NXT? You still got ladies. Give them a taste that can come up. Give them a little taste, you know? So, I don't know. That's my little rant.
No, I just really believe it's time for a new era in wrestling. And it's time where the companies work together. Some wrestlers, and I agree, some wrestlers have been let go and have gone to other companies, and I agree with you. Do you still, if Impact possibly working with WWE, do you want to go back and work for Vince McMahon? I get that, and I hear you. Maybe then they should be released and be able to go to another company.
Unless there's something that is happening. Because, again, Nick Khan's name and being bought, and it was announced, a couple of weeks ago, that it appears that Nick Khan is being groomed to possibly take over for Vince. And we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Right. So imagine if that is maybe kind of in the back of everybody's mind. Then I don't think the folks at Impact who used to work for WWE would have an issue.
And, as you said a while back, it's different being working the business and working the wrestling.
It's two separate. You'd have to have the corporate structure, the people who know the numbers over here and not be involved in the wrestling and have Triple H and Shawn or, all those people run the wrestling side of it.
Sorry, go
ahead. No, go, brother.
I'll say the amount of wrestlers I've heard doing like shoot interviews after getting released from WWE, being like, I'll never go back. Blah, 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 blah. As soon as Vince calls, oh, yes, sir. I'm on my way, sir. I'll be right there. I'll be right on Monday Night Raw, sir. I mean, they go crawling back.
Of course. Now, would Undertaker come back for one last appearance? Because there's always been talk. I mean, I know he's retired.
No, I would think if there's...
imagine if Titan walks through.
If the money's right, he'll be there.
Imagine if Titan walks through as he's announced in the 30-man. For those who don't know, Adam Shearer, formerly known as Braun Strowman.
Who knows?
Imagine if The Fiend shows up in some form. So
imagine if Kenny Omega showed up.
So
at the Royal Rumble.
Exactly.
Is that a great idea?
He's hurt,
but if they're doing it on the women's side, even if it's one person, imagine Moose walking through.
I'm okay with it.
So it would be interesting to see from the men's side who Impact or whatever may show up in the men's side. It would be interesting if they're doing it with Mickey.
I'm excited. To me, and I'm going to say it one more time, the wrestling product today needs to change. There's no excitement. Yeah, you see the fans cheering when their favorite wrestlers come out, but I'm talking about exciting
anticipation.
Oh, God.
Right.
I wanted Deonna Purrazzo to win tonight, but now I really want Mickey to win. The only way this makes sense for Impact
is for
Mickey James to be champion, her come out to Hardcore Country, her actual Impact theme. Because if she's not the champion and she comes out to her old stupid WWE music,
agree.
It does nothing for Impact.
Totally agree. It's a great
Impact
point.
better get something out of this. Be like, we'll give you Mickey if you give us Seth Rollins for a pay-per-view or something.
Totally.
But see, that, my friend, right there, that is good creative thinking and writing.
If she comes out with the Impact title to her music and she somehow wins the Royal Rumble and they got to like go through this storyline on Impact and WWE
Till WrestleMania.
till WrestleMania. That would be some shit for Impact.
So Sean obviously has been very busy the last couple of weeks and hadn't had time to catch up on our shows because his comment, Nick Khan is not being groomed. Nick Khan doesn't know wrestling. Khan is a business deal guy, a numbers guy. WWE will be sold within the next 5 years. Trust me. Now, every point that I just talked about, we have been talking about the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
I went on the air, in my opinion, saying within the next 5 years, WWE will be sold. Probably not to Disney because of all the, we know how the storylines are. Maybe Peacock, maybe Fox, maybe some other entity.
I
but
hope it's not Peacock.
I doubt it.
I will protest.
Well, you know what? But they have wrestling now. That would be the first logical choice because they already have that infrastructure. But so does Fox. News came out this week, if you guys missed the story, Fox wanted to buy everything from WWE when they were negotiating regarding SmackDown, and it didn't happen. So Fox was interested in buying WWE and getting involved. So again, he's in agreement with that. The three of us 2 weeks ago, or the last show of the year, we talked about, we know Nick Khan's not a wrestling guy. He
Yes.
loves wrestling as a fan,
Yes.
right? But he's not a wrestling mind.
No.
So what we talked about, Sean, similar to what we hedged on a few minutes ago, Nick could run the business side of the new entity as the CEO of the company, but you have to have a chief wrestling operations guy like a Shawn Michaels or somebody to run the wrestling side. So
Yeah.
Nick stays over here, stays in his lane, even though he'd oversee kind of everything. But the wrestling minds and the wrestling guys under that structure, and ladies, that's where the wrestling side has to be.
But did you guys see a story this past week where there's talk that Shawn might be going and Triple H may be going also
going where?
away from WWE?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
So if that happens and if there's a sale, who would run WWE?
Well,
The wrestling side.
Well, here's the thing. Let me see. Shant brought this up as well. I think we touched on this a couple of weeks ago. We saw a picture of The Rock and Nick Khan.
Yeah.
Because they're good friends.
Yes.
We know The Rock has already purchased the XFL.
Yes.
Could you imagine? Imagine if Rock gets involved in whatever the buying structure would be or entity if they were to buy WWE and run it with Nick Khan. You just talked about who would run the wrestling side. Could you imagine if? So this is all fun conversation because the what ifs are tremendous here.
Absolutely.
And now Carlos says he's been buying WWE stock just waiting for the buyout. And that's not a bad, he bought shares at $40 a share.
There you go.
So you know what, Carlos?
There you
That's
go.
not a bad idea.
No, it's not.
But again, all the possibilities here of the what ifs are just staggering. But now the question comes to mind. We got Mickey on the women's side from Impact, champion as of today.
Yeah.
Who's the champ over there now? Imagine
Moose.
if Moose walks through for the men's Royal Rumble.
If they're smart, it would be Matt Cardona going back.
God, no.
Hell yeah.
No.
There would be
Hell no.
There would be irony in that.
He is like 100 times more popular now than he was in WWE.
That's your opinion. Okay.
I agree with
Correct
that.
opinion, by the way.
As far as I'm concerned, Matt Cardona can't wipe my ass. Okay. That's how I feel. So
I'd let his wife do a lot
So
of
we're
things.
entitled to our opinions. Okay. I would much rather see Moose go, and I think it would be a bigger impact having the heavyweight champion going over there than Matt Cardona.
I agree with both of you because
But
Matt,
I agree with you that Matt Cardona going back, if he handled it the right way and he said, "Screw you, WWE," now that would be a story.
and that's where the irony would come in, having Cardona come back in his current mindset.
He's got to come like he is now, not
Right.
like go back to the Zack Ryder
right.
bullshit.
Same thing. He'd have to come back to his new music, the new personality that he's out there with. GCW, he wrestled, all of that stuff. Same with Mickey, like you said. So before we go to break, I've got to share a couple of these quick comments in
Do
the
you
chat
think
room.
they would allow that?
Yeah.
What? They would allow what?
He's got to come out with Chelsea, too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Giggity.
I didn't think about that one.
Oh, wait,
I like that.
I'm compiling my picture
I like
collection
that,
for
man.
Matt. All right, well,
I hope you got him in the closet, too.
my wife doesn't listen anyway. Okay, so Brandy shares.
Talk to us. Oh, somebody's calling in.
We'll take the call. Mr. Jason Piper's on the line, wants to share his thoughts. How are you, bud?
Good, man. How are you guys doing?
Good.
What's
What's going
up?
on?
What's going on?
So, to hit that rant with Chief about Moose, there's still only one true champion, and that's Tessa Blanchard.
Which we alluded
She
to a
never
few
lost
minutes
that
ago.
title.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Totally agree with
So-
you.
Well,
Totally
we were
agree.
talking
I agree
about,
with Matt too.
but Jason, we were
I
talking
agree with
about
Matt.
Moose on the men's side.
No, and I get that. No, and I get that. That's
Obviously.
why I brought that up.
Right.
But the thing is that go with the whole Moose thing. I agree with Matt. Matt Cordova should come back. It would add more relevancy than Moose, because Moose honestly is not that much of a follower. That's just my opinion, and I stick to that.
No, it's a great point, Jason.
Appreciate that,
Absolutely.
brother. Appreciate that.
Thanks for checking in, and we appreciate that. But the only reason I brought Moose's name up is because as of today, with Mickey being the ladies' champ, the balance would seem to bring in the men's champ, right? That to me would be the balance. We talked about Tessa. I alluded to her before. I didn't say her name, but we alluded to that before.
If Cardona was to win the title tonight and come out Impact champion on a WWE show,
Oh, that'd be crazy.
and been like, do you imagine the promo he would cut of be like, look what you lost, look what I did.
Totally agree.
I didn't need your stupid ass corporation to be what I am.
Totally agree with you. But do you think he's going to win the belt tonight?
I hope so.
I don't. I think
Moose don't do it for me.
I think
so.
Morrissey's going to win the belt.
That would be okay too. There's a redemption story there.
Exactly.
All right. While you guys ponder that, I want to give out these comments, and then we're going to go to break because we do have to pay a few bills. Brandy, and this was in response to Shant's comment about Rock buying WWE. She says, it would be such a better product because Rock is about the people. Shant then says, I wouldn't be surprised if Shawn and Triple H leave WWE and then buy ROH. Could you imagine if they bought, you guys are still on camera. Could you imagine if they bought ROH together? That would be crazy. Then Sean says, there's another major company coming. There is so much talent out there that isn't being used. We're going to see another AEW type company coming. Now, this is the interesting one. Brandy says Triple H is being banished as is really think he cheating on Stephanie, and this is Vince's revenge. You wouldn't be surprised if Sean is released soon as the final nail in the coffin. Very interesting. And then on this note, we're going to go to break. Sean's closing salvo. This one to you, Matt. Can we institute a dress code for TCA? Matt looks way too comfortable. On that,
I was way too tired this morning. I grabbed whatever I found, and I was like, oh, I should have grabbed an actual TCA shirt because that almost didn't happen either.
there you go. Thank you for watching TCA. A lot to talk about, a lot more to go. We'll be right back.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
If inspiration is the beginning, where does it lead? Experience the 2021 Mazda 3 sedan and see where inspiration can take you.
Grab the brass ring in a 2021 Mazda 3 with exclusive FSW discounts at Findlay Mazda. Get Garth today at the Valley Auto Mall.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
All right, everybody, we are back. I just sounded like Leghorn Foghorn or whatever his name is.
Those are always fun. You're back in 10. Oh, shit, my bad. Sorry, you're live.
Hey, you better have another damn donut,
My
man.
goodness. All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. A rather, what's the word I want to use? I want to say inspirational because those two ladies are not making the pay-per-view tonight, but a rather talkative first hour,
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what, though?
which is great.
Can I bring something up real quick?
Sure.
Edge defeats Miz, right, at day one.
Right, we haven't even finished the card there. Yep.
And this is my note. Beth chases Maurice from the ringside. So the match that's going to be coming up is going to be called the Parents' Match. That's what it's going to be called, the Parents' Match.
Well,
Edge, and Beth Phoenix
Miz and Maurice.
against Miz and Maurice, who are married
Yep.
and both have children.
Yep.
So it's going to be the Parents' Match.
I think this is much ado about nothing.
See,
but
that's good creative writing.
but
It's actually Edge and Miz and the MILFs.
sounds like a rock group. But
I was trying to keep it for
Ain't no PG around here.
I was trying to keep it
was
for
it just me?
for children.
Was it just me, or did they screw up Beth's entrance at day one?
They could never mind.
Because I'm sitting at home, and we knew at some point Beth was coming.
Of
And when we knew the point where it was
Of
coming,
course.
with Maurice getting involved, I was sitting at home going, all right, Beth's music should hit. And then all of a sudden, the crowd starts going.
Yep.
No music yet. They were going for maybe a good 30 seconds. The camera then finally switches over to Beth, and all you see is her standing and huffing and puffing. Why? Her music hadn't hit yet, but she's out on the ramp. They screwed that up terribly. Terrible botch on production.
So
It never really made sense when like somebody comes back for a surprise return that their music and videos are always ready. I just want to see somebody like come and like run out and be like, "Oh shit, there's so and so."
Like from the crowd or something, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's like somebody comes out and it's just like Beth Phoenix.
That's right. But anyway, that was a little side note there. They unfortunately ruined that. They messed that up terribly. All right, let's get back quickly into a few more results before we get to the top of the hour. Drew McIntyre defeated Madcap Moss. No surprise there. What the surprise was, of course, the sneak attack backstage. Drew being written off television for a little bit. Apparently, he has been working with some neck issues for a little bit. But the warhorse that he is,
Hopefully he gets back soon.
absolutely. RK Bro defeated the Street Profits to retain the tag champions. I thought for sure the rap group that was out with them, and I'm sorry I don't remember their name.
Amigos.
Right? As you said it popped in. I thought there was going to be some shenanigans there because, first of all, look at the way the Street Profits look. They were dressed in black,
Yeah.
right? Montez Ford had his hair cropped and what was it, the cornrows really, he really had not been, for what I've seen, really looked that way. So he changed his appearance. He looked more demonstrative in the ring in his reaction to everything. So I was expecting a little something to go on in that match. Did you see that or not?
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too, but I think everyone's at the point of RK Bro that they're just waiting for Randy to turn on Matt Riddle and just end the tag team at
Good point.
any point now.
And on top of that, at the end of the match where they all shook hands, I thought usually shaking hands with opponents is usually a death sentence that something's going to happen. Nothing happened, and I was kind of surprised by that.
True.
But RK Bro retained. Now, we talked about Edge defeated Miz. We kind of touched on that, and no real surprises.
Everybody saw that coming.
Of course, and now it's setting up the intergender parents match, which I kind of like the idea. Becky Lynch.
MILF and Husbands match.
That's right. Wrestlers and MILFs unite. Becky Lynch defeated Liv Morgan to retain. I thought it was a solid match, but how do you botch a bad ending? A heel ending where she was too far from the ropes because it appeared she was trying to get the feet on the ropes again.
Yeah.
Because now that story's done. If it was feet on the ropes again, Matt, they could have certainly brought that match back for a third time.
True. They seemed like she was trying to, but they were too far away. I think everyone wanted Liv to win. I was pretty disappointed that they finally didn't give her a shot as champion.
Totally.
I think she was going to be champion very long.
I agree.
Maybe till the Royal Rumble, if not like the next Raw, but
Something.
just to get her like the belt for a little while would have been cool to see.
I totally agree. And maybe that's where they were going to go, but Becky couldn't reach the ropes and it ended up being a clean finish. So you can't really do much there. Sean puts a comment in there, which is actually a pretty good one in relation to the parents match. Sean says the Forbidden Door is open now. They're missing out on Miz and Maurice versus Cody and Brandy. Winner gets their own show on Fox, which I think is pretty good. Last match we'll talk on, of course, this is the Fatal 5-Way. Of course, we know Brock Lesnar was a last-minute addition to that match because of Roman being ruled out with COVID. In my opinion, when you look at the graphic that they showed once Brock was added to the match, he was put front and center. The champ was off to the right or left looking at the picture. So again, the champ not getting respect. The champ in the introductions, if he's not going to come out last as the champion, which should be, and obviously they were going to introduce Brock last, have him come out first as the champion to get his due.
Well, as I was always taught, though, if the champ doesn't come out as last, he's going to lose the belt. Okay, so he didn't come out last, he lost the belt.
I think his run also was cut way too short. Now, granted, he may not have had as much of a personality as Brock does, but this just, in my opinion, going back to the same stories, going back to the same people with the belt, part-time champion here, when you had a guy like Big E, who was a workhorse, in my opinion, and had a very relatively short reign and loses clean in a 5-way.
He got the Kofi treatment. Loses to Brock, doesn't get a rematch.
Yeah, what happened to the 30-day rematch clauses?
That's gone.
I know, right? I agree.
Depends who it is, actually. But
The good things of wrestling have gone away, unfortunately. So, it's like the belt that what's his name holds, Damian Priest. Do you know
The U.S. title?
The U.S. title. That used to be a prestigious belt at one time. Now it's like, okay, we're just going to give it to. And I'm not saying Damian's not a good wrestler, because I like Damian Priest and I know him personally from my Jersey days. But the prestige has gone away from the wrestling. And, that's the only way you can put it, folks.
it's like Shinsuke with the Intercontinental title. The Intercontinental title used to be the main event of most house shows.
Exactly.
Like in the 90s.
And why? Shinsuke's not wrestling on TV. Damian gets a match on TV once every couple weeks. And what I was looking up away from, who the hell's the head of production at WWE? Is it still Kevin Dunn?
Yep.
I think so, yep.
Okay. And what I read is that's Vince's right-hand boy.
Oh,
so.
yeah, absolutely. And I just saw on the crawl at the bottom there, which I did not
Yes,
see the
sir.
story, Bob Backlund was actually spotted with Bruce Pritchard at SmackDown this week.
Hey.
That guy is freaking crazy.
You know what, though, man?
I had a chance to interview him.
Don't disagree with you, but I'm going to tell you something. A hell of a wrestler.
Yep.
A hell of a collegiate wrestler. And there's a guy that knows the business. Okay.
Totally. I had a chance to interview him years ago. He was here in town at a speaking engagement at UNLV, and somebody that we both know set this opportunity up. He was in studio with me, and I'll tell you what, he was great interview. I was such in awe. I had to pick him up at the Rio, and I was sitting there like all excited. And then I see the white shirt, red suspenders coming towards me. I'm like, holy shit. My first live event, as you guys know, in 76 was seeing him defeat Superstar. And he was in his mid to late 60s at best at the time, still built like a brick house. When he shook hands with me, I thought my hand was broken. Yeah, it's still on YouTube. If you guys want to search for it.
He had a handshake, did he?
Oh my God. So if you guys want to check it out, it is up on my YouTube channel. Just simply search Aaron Phillips, Bob Backlund. You'll see it come up on Vegas Unwrapped was the show that I did it on years
His handshake is like putting your hand in a vice grip.
Holy crap. And he put my friend into the cross-faced chicken in the studio just for a couple of seconds.
So here's a history question.
Yes.
For you wrestling fans, who was Bob Backlund's manager?
Arnold Skolin.
Yes, it was.
There you go. All right. Hey, you know what?
What he said.
Ditto. Hey, you know what? We're at the top of the hour, which means hour number 1's in the book, which only means we're ready for hour number 2 as we get ready to go to our break, catch our breath as we get ready into hour number 2. We still have to talk about if there's anything left with day 1. We're going to talk about NXT's event, all that Impact stuff, what's happening with that, independent, NEW. We got so much going on. We need a third hour, which means we need more sponsors. So
hey,
give us.
You got something you want us to talk about? Put it in the chat room.
Yeah, or better yet, call us.
Call
us.
Because the chief said so.
We'll be right back.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
If inspiration is the beginning, where does it lead? Experience the 2021 Mazda 3 sedan and see where inspiration can take you.
Grab the brass ring in a 2021 Mazda 3 with exclusive FSW discounts at Findlay Mazda. Get Garth today at the Valley Auto Mall.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
Hey, hour number 2 is underway. Thoughts count anywhere. Come to you live from the Go Live Vegas Studios in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. Hey, give us a call, 702-329-6947. Press the number 1, come into the studio. If you're outside the U.S., give us a call, 1-855-502-4321. Hey, guess what? Don't forget, we can read your Twitters. If you want to tweet us, send a using it hashtag Thoughts Count Anywhere. Your message will appear on the screen, and guess what? We'll be able to respond to it. The crawl is happening with lots of good news bits there about what's going on in the world of wrestling, so we're very happy about that.
Yeah,
Hour 2, guys.
And I understand I got blindsided coming in this morning, but I understand that we're not going to be in studio next week.
That's right. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
Can you put up the flyer for Mr. Scott, if you don't mind? I know it's a last-second request, but next week,
Please.
Next week, the 15th, Power Play Sports Collectible Sports Card Show is happening down at the Sunset Station, right outside the bowling alley area where he's done them the last couple of times. Because of that, that's from 10 to 6, free admission. There you go. Everybody's down there, 10 to 6, Saturday and Sunday, the 15th and 16th. Well, because Scott's going to be down there, that means the penalty box will be down there from 8 to 8:50. Because we can't get back into the studio fast enough, TCA will have to be on the road again. And we will go from 9 to 11 down there as well. So we're going to do back-to-back shows. Aaron's Hour, up for debate. I have to check with my guest if she's okay with meeting us down there. Otherwise, we may have a special start time next Saturday at 12:30 so we can get back into the studio. However, the penalty box, TCA will be down live at Sunset Station on the 15th.
So come on down and see us.
Because?
The chief said so.
There you go. We need a shirt that simply says that. I don't think we have one because the chief said so.
We can make that happen.
There you go. All right. By the way, ThoughtsCountAnywhere.com, folks. Come on, check it out. We got a lot of great swag up there. Go into the tab that says Shop, I believe. There's just 2 of our quick shirts, our thoughts on WWE Creative, and, of course, Chief and Ain't Easy. But more importantly, we still have 2 shirts on there supporting the Nevada Coalition for Suicide Prevention, supporting Garth Wall's cause. Portions, if not, I think we did 100% of all net proceeds go to the cause, so we're still doing that.
Yep.
New shirts are up there. Straight out of TCA's up there. You can get the shirts you see here that we're wearing, the gray shirt, the traditional red, and then if you want to acknowledge me as a Hall of Famer, my shirt's up there as well, which, by the way, for the record, I had no idea it was going up. Matt surprised me one day and said, hey, look at the new shirt. So a lot of good stuff up there. And then, of course, if you want a mug with Thoughts Count Anywhere, just go to the GoLive.Vegas website. Click on the shop, I believe is what it is, or merchandise, or I'm not sure the tab that it's under. But look at that beautiful mug. And you can also get a poster of us, and then there you go, as well. That's 2x3 in size. And we're going to eventually get one here in the studio so that our guests, when we start getting our guests back in studio, we'll get them to sign it, and that will be an auction item that we will eventually use that proceeds for the Nevada Coalition.
And there's my wrestler for the week.
All right, who's that now?
That is Miss Velvet McIntyre.
Where did she wrestle?
She wrestled WWE. She wrestled AWA. Basically, her and Princess Victoria were a tag team.
She's a redhead. That's my kryptonite.
And I just got a photo in the mail of Miss McIntyre signed by her. And when I see Queen Victoria, or as I know her, Vicky Oates, I'm going to have it signed by Princess Victoria.
There you go.
Also.
Excellent. Shant, no, we don't have fluffy boy sizes, but the way you're working your ass out and getting healthy, which, by the way, I commend you, soon you won't need those fluffy boy sizes.
I think, in all honesty, on one of the sites, I was able to get a 5X for somebody.
For our stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
So
it's possible.
So Shant, look around, brother.
So also we want to acknowledge, although we're coming out of the holiday season, which is a time where most people focus on depression and being alone and all of that, that doesn't mean it doesn't happen the other days of the year. So remember, there's a movement going on in the wrestling world right now called Tag Me In, where if you are someone that just needs somebody to talk to, you think nobody cares, you think nobody's listening, guess what? There are people. You just may not realize who they are. So by tagging us in, just reach out to those of us here at Thoughts Count Anywhere. What's our email there, Mr. Matt?
info@thoughtskountanywhere.com.
And you can also email us through our website, right? Which also, I believe, takes us to that same site, right?
Yep.
Same email. So just go to thoughtscountanywhere.com. Shoot us an email. We'll be happy to reach out to you. Just chat, see what's going on, let you know that you are loved and being thought of. So tag us in. There you go, thoughtscountanywhere.com. All right. Let's get to, very quickly, some of the results. Great job, Shant. Down
That's some
another
breaking
5.
news that just popped up
Go
on-
for it. Go.
On WWE's
I'd
thing.
say play a teletype, but we don't have such a sound.
Says Sasha Banks is expected to be out of action 6 to 8 weeks after suffering a foot injury Sunday at a live event. So there goes my pick for the Royal Rumble.
And there was video capturing that it looked like she was injured coming out of that. The referee was caught throwing the X up and everything.
Yeah.
She did get a little support to go to the back. She said it was all early indication said she was fine, but now 6 to 8 weeks with a foot injury. Wow.
She needs those Jedi powers from the Mandalorian to get
really.
better quickly
Wow.
to get in the Royal Rumble.
Wow. Terrible news. Again, impacting now opening up a slot for the Ladies Rumble.
Yeah.
But I want to mention, speaking of the Ladies Rumble, I know we're going backwards. Brandy put something in there referencing the Ladies Rumble. 2 little simple words. Ding dong.
Hey, when's what's her name coming back?
Who, Bayley?
Well, Bailey's one of them.
Lacey's another one.
Alyssa Bliss.
Oh, they announced that on Raw was it Road Back to Monday Night Raw
Something
starts
like
next
that.
week, so she'll probably come back at the Rumble too, I would imagine.
Yeah. But Lacey's name also. She's looking to come back in Bailey. You know, Bailey's been teasing a comeback, so I wouldn't be surprised if they come back.
So let's
At
see.
the Rumble?
They announced 19, I believe. So they've got 11 slots left.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey,
Lacey and
Lacey,
Alexa.
Raquel Gonzalez should be in there.
Raquel, Uso's wife,
Naomi.
Actually,
is she not already on? I have the list here.
So that's 5.
So here's a list for those who don't know, and then Naomi's on this list.
Oh, okay.
Rhea Ripley, Nikki Ash, the Bella Twins, Shotzi, Natalya, Michelle McCool, Dana Brooke, the 24/7 champ, Carmella, Zelina Vega, the tag team champs, Mickie James, Tamina, Kelly, Aaliyah, Summer Rae, Naomi, Shayna Baszler, Lita, and Charlotte Flair. So you already know 5 or 6 of those names are not winning. They're going to stick around just for their appearance, 1 or 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, and that's it. But so there's 11. They could still find some slots. All right, let's talk about New Year's Eve results real quickly. 4 matches of interest. Carmelo Hayes defeated Roderick Strong to unify the North American and Cruiserweight Championship, now known as the North American Cruiserweight Championship. Which is funny.
So now that Roderick's lost the belt, right?
Oh, Jason put Ronda's name in there too. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll go with that one too. Thank you, Jason. Who's going to step up for Carmelo? Who's next?
I don't know the roster of who's down there for men anymore.
Waller?
I don't even know. I don't think he's a cruiserweight, is he?
No, not
And
really.
Enzo comes back.
No, not really. And I'm being honest. You know who?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't know who's down there anymore for the men's side.
I think that's why I had to send AJ down there, because if they have like all these brand new guys, you can only be as good as your opponent. So you have to send the best down there to
and they got
level these guys up to make any of us care.
And what's amazing to me is they got rid of their head trainer down there. So who the hell knows?
Brandy mentioned Solo.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
But is he a cruiserweight though?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a possibility. I like that one.
Wasn't Aaron Solo just on AEW?
Yeah.
Could be.
That's a good choice.
Riddle and MSK defeated Imperium.
So
Speaking of bringing somebody to the main roster, bring Walter to the main roster.
I said that for a while. Here's a question. RK Bro, well, half of RK Bro went down tag team. Is the handwriting on the wall where eventually RK Bro's going to get broken up and Randy's going to get a shot at the championship?
Well, his name, Randy's name has come up because you immediately got the immediate story between him and Lesnar from what happened the last time when Lesnar busted him wide open with those forearms.
Yep.
And I think Randy wants one more shot at the championship, and then I think he's going to retire.
By the way, Sean says not Aaron Solo, Sepha.
Oh, yeah, duh.
That's what they're referring to.
I
so.
think Sepha's going. I think we're going to see Sepha
Well, that's why.
somewhere else very soon.
That's why I was asking. I mean, Seth he's not a cruiserweight.
No,
I mean
no.
per se. I mean in terms
No.
of what a traditional cruiserweight would
No.
be, but the title is still called the North American Cruiserweight Champion, right? Champion.
Yeah.
So there's still theoretically a cruiserweight division in theory. 702-329-6947 is our phone number. All right. Mandy Rose defeated Raquel Gonzalez and Cora Jade to retain the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about all that needs to be said there, right?
That was a good match, too.
Here's the thing, though.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Mandy Rose up for the Ladies Rumble?
Mandy beat Raquel.
Mm-hmm.
Mandy beat Cora. You know, when is our young lady that's out injured coming back from her leg injury, who wrestled out here in Las Vegas for quite a while? I wonder if she's finally going to get a push to
Zoe Stark.
exactly to get a shot at Mandy.
She could. I think she's out a couple more months, though.
Yeah, she's got a pretty bad leg injury from what I understand. And that's a damn shame. But I mean, you know, most of the women are going up to the main roster now. There's not a lot down there.
I'm sorry, Jason throws out Dakota Kai.
Shit. Okay.
I like Dakota Kai.
Yeah, but she's had her time. Okay, she's had her shots. She's had her time. I'm talking about new people.
Then explain the 4 horsewomen running the whole division for 5 years straight.
We
need somebody new in general.
They're not they're wanting the young folk to come up on NXT. I mean, come on, Braun Breaker's the champion down there now.
Yeah,
he's been in wrestling a year and a half, 2
And they
years.
had him crash through the old set, didn't they? The X, he kicked the X
Yeah.
on the ramp.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that doesn't put the stake in the heart of
well, and that's what I'm saying.
Black and Gold.
So you know they're going to the young wrestlers,
Yeah.
but you look at the young wrestlers. And I'm going to say this, other than Braun Breaker and maybe Waller's got a good shtick. The young wrestlers that are down there need more training.
Hell yeah.
And
and I think that's why, again, NXT, just as a recap, we all know this, was originally to be a developmental league level, like an OVW used to be.
training
Right.
facility, yes.
So the fact that Shawn and Triple H made NXT a viable third product, kudos to them. But now allegedly the 2.0 version is to try to take it back to what it was supposed to be, and that being a developmental level of wrestling like the old OVW used to be, or Florida Championship Wrestling or whatever.
And
So-
if that's going to happen, then that's got to mean that a lot of the wrestlers have got to go to the main roster.
You would think, because at this point, if the main roster doesn't take advantage of the names that are still down there, they ain't getting shit from NXT for a while as a feeder to help support the main roster. These kids, and especially those who signed the NIL agreements, who are fresh out of college, who never ever thought about being a wrestler, those folks need at least 2 years, I would think, minimum, to even have some semblance of opportunity.
True.
So they need to do something quick, and I agree with that.
I would like to see Tommaso Ciampa and Roderick Strong against the Usos.
Sean puts in about Zoe. Just posted yesterday that she is rehabbing without a brace now and riding bikes and stuff. So she is a full unrestricted rehab now. Not sure that she will be ready for Rumble, but definitely coming back soon because she had the torn ACL and those. Yeah. Everybody's different. Yeah. Braun Breaker, according to Shant, says he did not get any positive feedback for what he did to the entrance on New Year's Evil by kicking the X. Maybe do you think that was ad-libbed, or do you think he was told to do that? I mean, who knows?
I'm sure that was like production's direct shot at Triple H.
Well, yeah, and it has to be a way that you're going to put the knife in the heart of NXT Black and Gold somehow, other than Ciampa losing the bell, right? And that was one way to do it.
Do you think NXT's losing viewership right now with the direction they're going in, vice the direction they were?
They've lost some viewers like since they've changed, but I think it's gone back up a little bit, so they haven't lost much.
Jason threw another name out there for the men's side. How about Elias? There's a name we don't talk about.
Where's he been?
Exactly.
Walking.
With his followers. Because they wrote him off, then he did a couple of vignettes, smashing the guitar and all that. They're trying to get him away from because he looked in the Randy Savage appearance, right? Had that. So they've been really trying to repackage him. Royal Rumble would be a great opportunity to present a new packaged Elias, whatever that may be.
You know, if we stop and think about it, there's only been really one person who has steadily appeared week after week on WWE show. Mm-hmm. Sami Zayn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Week after week. And he still has the same character. But
little tweaks here and there to what his cause is, but yes.
But he's got some great creative writing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I wonder how much at this point he's actually putting into that writing for that character. Everything from the conspiracy, to all of that stuff. Listen, I would like to see him get his due beyond just, what was it, the Intercontinental? What did he have, the Intercontinental?
Intercontinental.
US belt, right? Yeah. I mean, it's a long time in coming, I think. And maybe now, since KO re-signed, right? Yeah. Rumor has it that Zayn re-signed, I think, because of that. Yeah. Maybe they will build something a little more impressive for him than just this crazy off-the-wall character of conspiracy.
Well, did you see last night where Johnny Hollywood jumped into the ring and threw Sammy out of the ring?
I did not.
And now they've announced that Johnny Hollywood is a participant.
Is that Knoxville you're talking about?
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville.
Johnny Knoxville. You know what? They announced that during the pay-per-view last week, and I almost threw up in my mouth. Why?
Johnny Knoxville.
Why do we have to have this guy in this match? And I'm asking that rhetorically.
No, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, and I've said it. You don't take a spot away from a wrestler.
Right.
Okay. That's their livelihood.
I mean, you really...
And to bring a jabroni in like this. And, I'm going to go old school, okay? He's a freaking jabroni, okay? And you don't need him there. You've got enough quality wrestlers that are sitting down and dining, waiting to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them out, please, and let them wrestle.
I can't wait for the TCA after the Royal Rumble. Because if Johnny Knoxville's in the Royal Rumble, that means the Royal Rumble might be sponsored by Jackass. And when Red Notice was sponsored by, they did this whole storyline of like the egg and all that.
Right.
Could you imagine the Royal Rumble if it was just filled with Jackass stuff? You two would be both going on a rant for 2 hours.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm going to love every minute of it.
You can even take that day off if you want. You can sit on the couch. Chief and I will just go all over the place.
You could eat Krispy Kremes.
Well, wouldn't that, but Knoxville participating in this, wouldn't that be equivalent to that actor? I'm blanking. I can see his face.
Drew Carey.
No, Arquette. When he won when he won the WCW heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
I mean, why?
Greatest WCW champion of all time.
See, now, you mentioned Drew Carey, okay? All right, it was funny, but it was not necessary.
But those type of people, okay, and am I stereotyping? The Hollywood sector, whatever the hell you want to call it, I call it Hollywood, all right? That started in the WWE at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
That's where those people, Liberace come out, Cindy Lauper,
Pete Rose.
Rose.
But that's the grandest stage of them all, and I could see the pageantry, but they were not wrestling.
No.
Right?
The only one that wrestled was Mr. T.
But he was physically able to.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So Sean brought up a point about Knoxville. He's going to be in the WWE Celebrity Hall of Fame induction this year. It's just been so long since he did anything. So why? What did he do for WWE that he would be inducted? Because he's in this? Is there something I'm missing here?
I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean, what am I missing? I'd rather see Ryan Reynolds from Red Notice go in because he was with The Rock and Gal Gadot than Johnny Knoxville. I mean, what am I missing about Knoxville?
I don't know.
A paycheck from a movie company. That's about it.
So Shant then asks, whose spot is Knoxville really taking? Is it really that important for Knoxville to take Apollo Crews' spot in the Rumble? Plus, on top of that, WWE released 90 people over the past year that I'm sure could take a Rumble spot. Look, but you know what? I'd rather see Apollo in there because at least he's on the roster.
Shant, you're missing the point, son. The point is that there's wrestlers that are under contract to WWE right now, okay, who aren't on TV, who aren't even performing in the venues, but yet they have to be there, okay. But then you bring a guy in like okay, somebody tell me who the hell is Johnny Knoxville? I've never heard of the guy.
He's a jackass, and he's done a couple
TV show
movies.
Jackass. It's a prank show basically.
Never seen it, so I know nothing about it. So, from my perspective, he doesn't need to be at the Royal Rumble. Okay. Now, if they're trying to draw ratings, okay, Vince, I'll give you one. Bring his ass in, put him in there for his 2 minutes of fame and glory, and let it go. But as far as wrestling, and that's what the marquee says, wrestling. Okay, he's not
entertainment.
He's not a wrestler. No, Vince's dad started it. And when Vince's dad started it, it was wrestling, not sports entertainment, son. I'll have to educate you on that one a little bit.
It's 2022, sir. It's sports entertainment.
That's okay. That's okay. If it wasn't for Vince's dad, Vince wouldn't be in the position he's in right now.
Absolutely.
True.
Okay.
All right, what I'd like to do is I'd like to step aside for our final break a little early because I want to take it way to the top with all the conversations we have. We have a lot to go. I know we're doing the final set of commercials early.
Holy shit.
Right, we haven't even touched
Sorry,
on
folks.
much. That's
I
okay.
apologize.
And we still have birthdays to do at the end of the hour. So with that, we're going to step aside early so we can take it right to the top of the hour and finish up with as much conversation as we can. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
If inspiration is the beginning, where does it lead? Experience the 2021 Mazda 3 sedan and see where inspiration can take you.
Grab the brass ring in a 2021 Mazda 3 with exclusive FSW discounts at Findlay Mazda. Get Garth today at the Valley Auto Mall.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back.
Guess who's back? Back again.
By the way, where can everybody listen to our past shows? If somebody wants to catch up on almost 3 years will be August. We're doing the show.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow, 2.5 years. Where could somebody find all the shows, Matt?
We're on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iTunes. I haven't done this list in a while. They're everywhere. Everywhere you can listen to a podcast, we're on it.
Can they go to our website and click on archives and take it to the YouTube channel?
Yeah, you can take us to the YouTube channel. You can scream at your Alexa and say, hey, play Thoughts Count Anywhere, and our latest episode will play.
Really? We're on that for our show, too?
It's been there for like a year.
I didn't know that.
You've advertised it a bunch of times.
Well, okay, so we need a flyer on that to remind me. But you can also yell at Alexa to say play Go Live Vegas Radio, and whatever live show like ours will pop up as well, as we're finding out.
Carlos just popped in. YouTube has the shows too.
Yes.
Yep.
So the easiest way to get to the YouTube channel, just go to thoughtscountanywhere.com.
If you want to hear us, go to all the podcast sites. If you want to see us, go to YouTube.
It's a shorter list probably of where we're not, and those sites haven't come out yet.
Yeah.
You push the button.
You turn on your computer to device and you type in Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Thoughtscountanywhere.com does everything you need, plus right here on Facebook. However,
I just asked the guys and they tell me what
that's
to push.
that's right. I do want to mention, in all seriousness, so how many reaches are we getting on Facebook now on average, just for Facebook? Still
For
30?
Facebook, like 30, 40,000.
Okay. Folks, I got to ask one quick question. I put this as a boost out there a couple of weeks ago. How much money would you have to spend as a business owner to try to get in front of 30,000 people in just 1 week for 2 hours?
Lot.
Right? A lot of money, time, and effort. Here, you're going to do it with us with Thoughts Count Anywhere by simply taking advantage of some of our great packages that we offer for advertisers, sponsors, getting your message out there, segment sponsors like Bruise Brothers, like Finley Mazda and such. But listen, folks, 30,000 people a week, that's 120,000 people a month that you can get in front of by running 30-second commercials, getting spots on the air, coming into the studio for a live interview during your time, whatever it is. Send us an email, simple information. We'd love to set, no matter where you are, because we're on the internet in some form or another, so I don't care if you're in Vegas, New Mexico, if you're in Canada, if you're in Denmark, if you're in New York, we can help you build and support your business and put that many people in front of you for pennies on your dollar. Simply send an email to info@thoughtscountanywhere.com, or, as you see there online, even though my email stuff is out of date on my laptop still, I didn't bring any of it with me. Aaron@thoughtscountanywhere.com, or you can email me direct at aaronphillipslv2018@gmail.com, or Matt's personal email is
Mullen.matthew@yahoo.com.
And spell Mullen?
Mullan, unlike Aaron's book.
Well, at least I know you read it. I mean, jeez. Anyway, great packages, very affordable, folks. You're not taking money off your table to build your business with us. That's for sure. Okay. With that, Carlos says you yell into the iCloud and ask for the podcast. You're not kidding. Let's see. What else? Sean says if there's anything WWE has done consistently in the last 20 years, 15 to 20 years, it's proof that they don't care what any of us think, no matter what they do, etc. Best for business.
They could care less what we think at this point.
As we were in break, I want, Chief asked which way we're going to go. I want to bring this up because as a result of the fatal match that was recently held, Lesnar winning the belt, we're now going to see Lashley and Lesnar. Okay, go at it.
Goddamn time.
Well, that's what I want to throw out there, guys. Before Undertaker retired and Sting retired, everybody wanted to see Undertaker and Sting get in a ring together because that had never really been done. In my opinion, if they'd gotten in the ring at that time, as in like the last couple of years, that match, it's well past their prime. I think we'd agree with that, right? For those two guys. Now,
it wouldn't have been epic.
Correct. Fair enough. But now we've got Lashley and Lesnar. Now, they're not in any way, shape, or form anywhere near retirement. We know that and everything. But they're not as young as they were 10 years ago when Lashley was in there in WWE before and Lesnar. Is the match still as important now to see the two of them in the ring as it might have been 10, 15 years ago when everybody was clamoring for it to happen versus now? Is it going to be an epic match between the two of them at this point? They're big, heavy guys. Not going to be a long match, right? The big guys generally can't go 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes. What do you see for this match? To me, I'm kind of going, okay. Everyone wants to see it. I get it. Maybe one match. But to me, it just doesn't have the same lightning in the bottle that it could have had 10, 15 years ago.
10 to 15 years ago, neither of those guys were over to the point they are now.
Okay.
Lesnar is like, He got cheered out of the building freaking in day one when he won the championship. Lashley's more over than he ever has been in his whole career.
Okay.
How long? And I'm just I'm being realistic. How long has this match been building up?
Since Lashley returned like 4 years ago. That's what everybody wanted to see as soon as he came back the night after WrestleMania.
So it's taken WWE 4 years to make this match happen. I personally want to see it because in my mind, both of the guys have some MMA background, so hopefully that'll affect into the match. You're right; they are both brutes. They'll probably blow up after the 15-minute mark.
I don't think it would go 15 minutes.
I do.
No.
Lashley has a better shot of going 15 minutes because he's been in the ring more consistently over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I think it'll go at least 15. And, who keeps the belt? That's the question.
Well, at this point,
Is
I would
it
think Lesnar would have to. If they're meeting in a couple of weeks, I think it would be too soon to take the belt off of him.
Well, how many matches does Lesnar have to do in a year?
Listen, he's appeared the most in the last, month on TV than I think he has in the last year or two combined.
But maybe that's due to what's in his contract that he has to do so many shows a year.
Well, very true. I agree with that. Matt?
I think in 2022, hell is officially frozen over. Lesnar's actually being nice to fans.
I know. I saw those pictures.
And I
on
like
social
That
media.
has never happened in like 20 years. I've seen people get death stares from that man
Well,
just for like looking in his direction.
we have a friend though that's always saying, brother, sell merch, sell merch.
Those F5 shirts sell no matter what. He's a prick for 20 years.
He comes out.
And everyone buys them damn shirts.
He comes. I heard today, and I'm sure you heard it too, my friend. On Mark Henry show, okay, Busted Open, that they were talking about the young boy, Taz's son, Hook, coming out with a shirt and how he's so over. The fans want to see him. That, I think with Lesnar now, him doing the turn, so to speak, his merch is going to go off the shelves.
Oh, yeah.
They ain't going to be able to keep it in stock. It's going to sell. And so I think it's, personally, Aaron, I think it's going to be a great match. That will be, as you say, Matt, take my money on this one.
Yeah, listen, I'm very intrigued, obviously, to see it. I think to some level it will be a great match. There's no question in my mind. Lesnar going in as the face in this match. I think we agree with that, which I don't think. Can we ever think of a time when Brock Lesnar ever went into a match as a face? Maybe against Goldberg or something.
Like 2002.
Yeah, exactly. When he first came up. But it was just an interesting take because, time has gone by and thankfully they're still in great shape, still doing what they can do. But again, Lashley's been doing it for more consistently over the last 2 years during the time Brock has not, when we didn't see him since that WrestleMania.
The light bulb just went off in the old guy's head. Can I give you a name for the Women's Royal Rumble?
Sure.
Sable.
Does nothing for me. She hasn't been in a ring in like forever because she's been a mom.
Just saying.
No, absolutely. I mean, my reaction is like Johnny Knoxville.
I'm sure there's a wrestling ring up on the Lesnar
I'm sure.
ranch.
Oh, absolutely.
And wouldn't it be interesting, though, with Brock wrestling for the championship against Lashley, if Sable was to make an appearance?
I could see her coming out as his valet, maybe make an appearance with him and Paul Heyman coming out. But when was the last time she was even in a ring performing, taking a bump?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what.
That Brock bumps her all the time, but that's another story.
I'm gonna tell you what, though, she can damn get some pop, man. After
Oh, sure, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
And hey, she wrestled men.
I know she did.
She was an originator
I
of
know.
wrestling men.
Didn't she wrestle Mark Muir at one point when
That was
their
her
storyline?
That was her husband,
Yeah, at the time, right?
Johnny B.
Interesting.
Johnny B. Bad.
Yep, I remember that.
If we're going to like random women, I want to see Stacy Keibler come back.
I like to see her dance. I like to see her dance on the table.
I'd
Hell
rather see Keibler come back before Sable, but Carlos puts a comment in there. Says, "Has Chief seen Sable lately? Not in exactly ring shape."
No, I haven't.
Have you seen Lesnar's daughter?
It was just a light bulb that went off.
Now
in the
Lesnar's
head,
daughter
you know?
is a whole nother story because she looks exactly like him.
But
I mean,
you
it's
know
crazy.
what?
Lesnar's got the strongest genes on planet Earth.
Whoever brought up about Ronda Rousey coming back, that
would be
could
great.
be a possibility.
I'd love to see
How
that.
far away is she removed from the pregnancy? Or is she still pregnant? Did she deliver the kid yet?
Yes,
I don't even know.
read it like 6 months ago.
Okay.
Remember we were talking about the name?
Oh, that's right.
What kind of child does
With
she
no
have,
vowels.
a boy or a girl?
What kind of child did she have?
Yeah.
A human one?
Yeah, a boy or a girl?
It was a girl.
A girl. Why you
What kind of child
Why are
did she
you
have?
busting my balls, man?
She had a little Sasquatch.
There you go.
Sean.
See, hey, you see, the Chiefs got to come back in order to get the house in order.
Sean says there is no wrestling ring on the ranch. Brock doesn't like pro wrestling. He just can't fight anymore. That's
won't go
an
there.
interesting take. He never really was a fan of wrestling, per se. I mean,
He likes the paycheck.
he likes the paychecks and he likes the fact that he's a sideshow like Andre was.
Dude, if somebody was to pay me $10 million to show up somewhere like 5 times a year, it'd be like down. But like you hate your job though. But like, pff, look at my bank account. I don't
Exactly.
care.
Pay me $100 million
You
a
know, I
year
wonder
to
what
shovel shit. I'll do it.
I wonder what it's like for Tony Khan when Vince does shit like that.
He's probably laughing his ass off.
But you know, he's got to figure out where to come up with the money. You know.
Well, I don't think money's the issue.
Tony Khan's got more money than
No,
Vince
no.
McMahon
I don't
does.
mean AEW Tony Khan. I mean Tony Khan, the businessman.
Oh,
part
Nick
of,
Khan.
Nick Khan of WWE. I wonder how he likes it when Vince does shit like that.
That's Matt's mask. He just dropped it on the floor. And now you put it on the donuts. Way to go.
What a derelict.
Very sanitary around here.
All right, let's get into some other topics before we do birthdays, shall we, gentlemen? Going to shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about the NXT releases, okay, for a few minutes. William Regal, Road Dogg, Samoa Joe, Coach Ace Steel, writers Ryan Katz and George Carroll, Dave Kapoor, formerly known as Ranjin Singh, Scott Armstrong, former referee, Allison Danger. She was in The Office, I believe. Hideki Suzuki, Timothy Thatcher, Danny Burch, and rumor has it still more to come.
Allison got released, huh?
Yeah. So rumor has it that all of these recent releases is, again, another direct shot at Triple H. Has he fought? Now, I've never heard the comment that was made in the chat room about Triple H cheating on Stephanie. I have not seen or heard anything about that.
I've never heard that one.
So I don't know, true, not, or otherwise. I don't know what would be the real reason, though, that Vince would be chopping Triple H's leg out from under him regarding NXT. Because Vince had to see how successful NXT was regardless.
NXT was always the best out of the 3 shows.
Maybe that's the only thing that bugged the crap out of him. Yeah?
Might have been because it wasn't like his creation and it was mainly just Triple H's thing. And he made it more popular than Raw and SmackDown.
Sean says Allison was a trainer. She was also a trainer from FSW. She is Steve Corino's sister.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so listen, who else is left to release down there? Sean?
Ain't much. Matt
Sean?
Bloom is still down there. That would be like the ultimate shot if they were to release Shawn Michaels. But I don't see Vince ever doing that.
Here's a fun fact of the Royal Rumble. Did you guys know that with Beth Phoenix and Maurice? Well, you know because you wrote this up.
I was literally about to say it, but like I know I wrote it.
When Beth Phoenix and Maurice entered the Royal Rumble, they would be the first women to face each other in 3 different decades in WWE history. That's an interesting mark over
That's crazy.
30 years.
Yeah.
You know, how much Beth, I could see action. But you're not going to see it's an intergender match, so the women have to wrestle each other, right?
Yeah.
It's not, so I don't see the ladies really getting too much action in the ring regardless. Let's see. They're planning another Saudi Arabia show already. Okay, I won't be up. Here's one I didn't realize, and I missed this story. WWE gave up the legal battle against Ric Flair on calling Becky Lynch the Man, as he does own the rights to the name in pro wrestling. So now WWE can't use that anymore, right?
That's why they've been calling her Big Time Bex for like a month or two.
All that unsold merchandise. But can they use the mom? 'Cause
Yeah.
right? That was another one they were talking about using for her at one point. The mom.
Triple H and Steph been married 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little tidbit there.
And they have twins, don't they? Don't they have twin kids?
Yes.
Both daughters, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. How the girls have to be.
Yeah. So if
One of the daughters is training to wrestle already.
So if anybody's heard anything about Triple H supposedly cheating, shoot us a story or give us a call and let us know. Because I've never heard anything about it.
That was news to me about that, and this is maybe some sort of revenge.
So I know when they say like Vince hates people sneezing,
and I think
like
that
thoroughly
OCD, yeah.
And I really feel that as strong a woman as Stephanie is, if something like that was to happen, she would not put up with it.
I wonder if she was the cause of his heart trouble.
If like Vince had like hates people sneezing so much, that's
Yeah.
like a big thing apparently.
Oh, he is.
If
OCD,
Triple H
yeah.
had a heart attack, that's like the ultimate of like over sneezing. So he's like, I'm gonna write you off. You can't control your own body. Oh my God, blah 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 blah.
And I need to make one more statement. Whoever does makeup at WWE, you need to do a better job with Vince because he looks like shit. Even though he's old, you can still do a better job with makeup.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't looked good facially, on TV. But then again, what is he? He's late 70s now?
You
Is that
know,
what it is?
he's 8 years older than me.
Okay, so what's that, 75? 76?
77.
77? 69?
Because
Yeah, 77.
I'll be 70 in November.
Well, look, we know he worked out early on. Question whether he used steroids to get his body into the shape that it was during that era as well.
Question?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
And you know what? Maybe physically, when he was working out and had the juice, maybe his body is finally breaking down. That happens to him. I mean, look at Lyle Alzado, how his body just facially just destroyed it. And Vince, the last time I saw him on TV, man, he did look like a walking corpse. So it was not good because his face looked all shrunken, his cheeks, whatever it was. He just did not look good.
I've had the good fortune of meeting Lex Luger. And if you look at Mr. Luger's body,
right,
I would say that Vince, I don't want to use the word deteriorating, but
But that's what it is.
That's like the ultimate before and after pictures.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. One other comment, if I can find it here real quickly, that I want to mention. Kevin Owens' wife reveals on social media that COVID has hit their household. So if that's the case, I hope to God Kevin is kind of staying away in his own quarantine as he's on the road. But anyway, so COVID is affecting their house there.
Yeah.
So just other thing that was just one other note I wanted to mention off the run sheet. Sean says, I'm sorry, Triple H cheating on Steph is only a rumor that people are saying to have some story behind what is going on with NXT. Okay, that's good. They have downplayed his heart issue in public. He is hearing that he absolutely had a major heart attack from Sean. Thank you, Sean.
I had 2 weeks off.
Hey, hey, Jacob.
So let me give you a little run that I've got.
Okay.
Breaker defeats Ciampa. Who's next for Braun? What's next for Ciampa? Page defeats Danielson on the AEW Dynamite. That was a great freaking match. 60-minute match almost. MJF versus Shawn Dean. CM Punk runs in, attacks Dean. MJF disqualified. First time he's disqualified. But listening this morning, Shawn Dean is one of 3 people that's beat MJF. Jay Cargill defeats Ruby Soho for the TBS Championship. Who's stepping up for Jade Cargill now? And Black defeats Pillman Jr. Jurassic Express defeats the Lucha Brothers for the tag belts. Who's next for Jurassic Express?
I don't even think they were supposed to win that match until like Phoenix broke his arm. I think they had to like change that on the fly.
So again, I'm going to go back and ask the question. Who is the #1 tag team in professional wrestling right now?
My favorite is the Lucha Brothers, but Phoenix is hurt for a while.
You know, I'm going to say this. I tend to agree with Sean. Okay, when he earlier said, "Them boys." I like them. I like them.
Actually, as you were going through your list, I was crossing off some because a lot of them were on the list that Matt had. So we're actually reducing the run sheet to a pretty, like we've covered a lot more than I think we thought we were at some point. All right, we're about a minute or two away from birthdays. So Matt, pick a couple of topics that we want to touch on before we do birthdays and start wrapping up already. My
Hard to
goodness.
kills tonight. I hope Matt Cardona wins the championship. I want Mickey James to retain. And Chelsea Green better win that Ultimate X Knockouts match.
And did I hear that the girls, the tag team girls,
An Inspiration got taken off because they were exposed to somebody with COVID. They didn't get COVID, possibly. But
they don't have it.
As far as we know.
Okay.
but
I
don't know.
hope not. I hope not. I don't wish that crap on anybody.
Do we see a surprise debut tonight on Hard to Kill for Impact?
Might.
I mean, I'm just. But what made me think of that is a comment that Tony Khan said about a big signing for AEW coming. So it made me think whether someone at Impact may
I wonder
show
who
up.
his dream signing could be.
Be a Titan Dream, that's for sure, wouldn't it?
I don't think that's anybody's dream to get Braun Strowman.
And I
but-
just want to shout out to Garth. Garth, hope you're doing better, brother. We love you.
By the way, Brandy, I don't know if I should say this.
Go ahead.
Brandy says her favorite tag team is herself and her pillow. Take that for what it's worth. It's now time
What about the pup?
for birthdays. Birthdays today. Once again, it's being brought to you by Bruise Brothers Live from fabulous Las Vegas. Wrestling Memorabilia and Collectibles show every Sunday at 2 p.m. exclusively on the Top Rope Collectibles Facebook group page. Search Top Rope Collectibles on Facebook. Today's happy birthday edition that you hear in the background, proudly brought to you by the Pocket Aces. Want to know
Happy
who they,
birthday to you.
if you want to know who the Pocket Aces are, you need to turn into my show on the 22nd of this month, led by Rob Goldstein. He's the guitar player you hear in this song. All right, with that, if you're celebrating a birthday or anniversary, today through next Friday, we want to wish you a happy, happy celebration. Today, January 8th, Bushwhacker Luke, Bull Nakano, and Chris Masters. January 9th, Todd Grisham, Ruby Soho. There's one that I wish would get a belt around her waist someday. Ruby Soho. January 10th, Buff Bagwell, Grand Master Sexay, and Tamina Snuka. For her birthday, she's getting into the Rumble match, right? January 11th, Abdullah the Butcher. January 12th, the lady who is crazy. If you watched Dark Side of the Ring, Luna Vachon, she would have been celebrating on the 12th. The 13th, Shad, Takahashi, and Mason Ryan. And on the 14th, Matt Riddle, Casey Catanzaro, and let's do it for the big guy, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh! There you go. That was well done, gentlemen. Happy birthday to all of you. And by the way, he's also cancer-free, right? Hacksaw came out.
Yes, he is.
So that's a nice birthday present for himself and his family. So happy birthday to them all.
In fact, he was just had a checkup this past week,
Yes.
and he's good to go.
So that's good news. Between him and Jim Ross also being cancer-free is
Yes,
tremendous.
sir.
Sean says, Matt, you have nice legs, and he needs to keep showing them off. So I don't know what kind of special thing you guys got going on. Birthday list was sponsored by Bruise Brothers Live from fabulous Las Vegas. Wrestling Memorabilia and Collectibles every Sunday at 2 p.m. exclusively on the Top Rope Collectibles Facebook page. I want to thank those guys down there, Ben and William, for allowing them to host up. What you got? Ah, look at that. A very happy anniversary. Thank you very much.
I already wished him an happy anniversary.
You did, but now it's a graphic with it.
Oh, okay.
He didn't have time to put it up when you mentioned an
He
hour and a half
tricked her
ago.
33 years ago and somehow held it up.
Some trickeration was going on back yonder.
Hey, the only thing I know going on, and I don't know about Versus.
Yep.
I know FSW has a show next Friday night at 7.
Right.
Well,
Versus put out something in their Facebook page that because of the spikes and everything with COVID,
they're taking a
they were
vacation.
leaning towards, I think, wanting to not do any shows in January, but he
Okay.
put it out there to the talent
Okay.
to see what the talent suggested. Talent, those who have not been affected, want to move forward. So I believe there's a show. The 19th is in my head, but I don't think that's the right date. But there is a Versus show. Just check Facebook, go to the Versus page, and you can check it out. So
I'll
I think
check.
they are
and
still
I'll
doing
check.
it.
I'll check with Wes and ask Wes, and I'll have put it out next week.
Absolutely.
And the only other thing I got to shout out to Top Rope Collectibles.
There you go.
So,
I was busy adding to my Chelsea Green collection for some guy named
and
Matt.
the other thing is Monday
that
night.
wet T-shirt contest.
Monday nights, I believe Power Play Sports and Collectibles does a show, a podcast with
Do they?
wrestling memorabilia.
That's on the Power Play page, I believe.
I
Right?
believe so.
Yeah, you do Mondays at 5 o'clock.
There you go.
Mondays at 5.
And I'll just say this: get well, Ryan. I'll just end it at that. All right, let's go to some pop culture stuff. The Grammys have been canceled for the second year in a row. We'll talk about it off screen.
Okay.
Are you talking about Ryan wanting to know?
Uh-huh.
We'll share that afterwards.
Very well.
Anyway, Grammys are done canceled for the second year in a row. And just a little coattail that story, the Golden Globes have been canceled for the second year in a row, but the Golden Globes may never come back because of all the controversy that goes into voting for the Golden Globes. So the death of the Golden Globe Awards may be done. But the Grammys, second year in a row, have been canceled. They may do virtual stuff.
Do you mean the Golden Globes are rubbing off, or WWE's running off on Golden Globes, and
Well,
there's controversy in the voting process?
You know what?
Is that what you're saying, sir?
Whatever the controversy of not enough diversity in the voting ranks and the winners within the because usually the Golden Globe Awards are sometimes a foreshadow for the Oscars.
True.
But there's been a lot of issues as of late with some of the voting issues and representation being imbalanced and things like that. And so the Golden Globes, the article I read the other day, they may never come back after being shut down. And with all the controversy stuff, they may never come back.
Due to diversity.
Correct. Brandy does remind everybody, and thank you, Brandy, tonight the Knights are playing the Detroit Red Wings, right? I believe it is Detroit, or no, the Blackhawks. Blackhawks.
Chicago,
the return.
Chicago Blackhawks.
The return of the Flower. Marc-Andre Fleury will be setting the ice there, and it'll be. I can't wait to read about the response. That
This is the first time the away team's going to get a bigger ovation than the actual Golden Knights.
Every time he stops a puck against the
Guaranteed.
Knights, he'll probably get a rousing.
Y'all were talking about it on the early show this morning, and I have to tell you that both Gerard Gallant and
Ryan Reeves.
and Ryan
Is this working? I look down at the sheet.
and Ryan Reeves they both got a huge shout out.
Absolutely.
From the fans at the arena.
You know what? Real quickly, before we get back to pop culture, we've been alluding to it. Hard to Kill tonight. Let's quickly go through some quick predictions, whatever comes off the top of your head. So let's go through it.
All right, go.
Impact World Champion Moose, Morrissey, and Matt Cardona in a triple threat.
Cardona for the win.
Morrissey.
Okay. I'm going to say Moose is going to retain because I think the story between Morrissey and Cardona is not over.
You know what? We all three better say Moose is going to retain.
That's right.
Because he's a pretty good friend to us.
Impact Knockouts Championship, Texas Death Match, Perazo, Mickey James.
Before last night, Perazo. Now just solely for Royal Rumble purposes, Mickey James.
You know what? I say Peraza. I say Mickey's going to lose it, and then she's going to go to the Rumble.
I say Mickey James retains for the simple fact that she'll have the belt around her waist for Rumble. Impact X Division, Trey Miguel, Steve Macklin. I'm taking Miguel.
Trey Miguel's finally going to get the pin on Macklin.
I agree.
ROH World Championship, Jonathan Gresham versus Chris Sabin.
Gresham.
Knockouts Ultimate X, Tasha Steeles versus Lady Frost versus Alicia Edwards versus Jordan Grace. I think she'll win. Versus Rosemary versus Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. And Chelsea Green. And Chelsea Green.
Rosemary.
Jordan Grace, just because I love her.
That's disgusting.
Josh Alexander.
Rosemary?
No, Jordan
Grace.
Oh.
Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander versus Jonah.
Jonah's going to kill Josh Alexander.
Oh, Jonah's, what's his name?
Bronson
Reed, yeah.
No, I'm going to say Josh Alexander.
This is a storyline that can continue. I think if Jonah wins again or wins tonight, I think the story's kind of dead. Hardcore War, Good Brothers versus VBD versus Heath Rhino, Willie Mack, Rich Swann, and Eddie Edwards.
Any match with the Good Brothers in it, I hope they win.
I agree.
I think they will as well. Okay. Go ahead.
I wanted to throw Rick Swann's wife.
Sue Young.
Shout out to Rick and Sue Young. Miss Sue is expecting.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, funny. They just like barely announced that when Impact was here like a month ago. I saw Richard. I was talking to him at Subway, and he's like, "Yeah, I get this drink for my wife. She's pregnant." And I was like, "What'd you just say?" And he was like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that out loud." And I was like, "You're cool, man. Congratulations. I
I
ain't
was
gonna
gonna
say
say,
shit."
your
So
secret is safe with us.
Now that it's officially out, I wanted to do the shout out.
Right on. Okay, going back to a couple of quick pop culture topics. Harry Reid's funeral's today in Vegas.
Yep. So watch the roads that you take.
Right. Airport's officially named Harry Reid International.
Yes, it is.
A lot of thoughts on that. Today, this weekend, games today and tomorrow and Monday. Is there a game Monday night? Last week of the NFL regular season.
I think so, yeah.
I'm not sure.
So there's only a couple of playoff spots still up for
My
grabs.
49ers got to beat the Rams. I pray to God the Rams pull most of their starters because they're already in the playoffs. Crap.
And we just talked about this. Marc-Andre Fleury returning to Vegas to play against the Knights tonight.
That's going to be a huge pop.
I believe Scott's going to be there, isn't he?
Robin Leonard's
I'll be watching it on TV.
I will be at the M tonight enjoying an anniversary dinner with my wife and some friends. And then we're going to go see at 8 o'clock down there Rob Garrett, who is one of the most famous, if not the most famous, if not the only one, tribute artist to Neil Diamond. He's been doing that for 40 years here in Vegas. He's doing a show tonight as well down at the M. So we're going to go celebrate down there, take in the show.
That's a nice place, the M.
Rumor has it Neil Diamond might be the best Neil Diamond impersonator.
But Neil Diamond can't sing anymore, so. But that is true. Impersonating himself. Wouldn't that be fun? Yes, exactly. You. But it'll be good because I've seen Rob a number of times. I've interviewed him. He's a good friend. And
it'll be a good show.
He does a great job of doing that, and he's got great hair. I mean, okay, I don't like a guy who's got great hair like
There's
that.
some of them tribute artists that, like, if you were to close your eyes, it sounds just like them. I'm like, whoa.
And Rob Garrett does.
And
Rob Garrett absolutely does.
Again, in all sincerity, happy anniversary to you and your missus.
Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. 33. We were talking. My wife.
Yeah,
and I
that's a long time.
My wife, and in today's day and age, 33 years of marriage to the same person.
Liz and I will be 36 this year.
Well, there you go. Congratulations to that as well. You know, when I used to sell timeshare, I used to break the ice by asking the couple, so tell me, how many years you guys married? Oh, 36 years? So let me ask you a question, Mrs. Chief. Is that to the same guy? So I would have the guy go, well, no, it's 10 to the first one, 10 to 12 to the, add them all up. The lady then would say no.
Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
There you go. Thank you very much. So wedding anniversary numbers are quite the topic. All right, with that, gentlemen, next week we'll be down at Sunset Station. We'll be on the road. Come down and say hi, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe if we got
I need to bring the banner next week.
If you remember it, that would be great.
It's in the trunk of the car.
Perfect. Maybe if we can get a hold of maybe a memorabilia piece we can give away to viewers who come down to visit us.
Yeah.
They put their name in a hat. We announce it the following week on Thoughts Count Anywhere. What do you think about them apples?
We could do that.
I know if I put up a Chelsea Green picture, I know who'll stuff the ballot.
I got plenty. I don't even know where that came from.
Well, I bet you have the one with her in the crop Mickey Mouse T-shirt and the wet T-shirt.
No, but I got pictures with her.
No, but I got pictures.
No. You ought to see this one.
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, I almost bought that one.
I know.
Did you see the one? Did you see the one I bought?
I did not, because I was at work when I was on.
Greg Valentine and Roddy Piper in the dog collar match.
Oh, really? No, I missed that.
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts as we say goodbye.
Everybody have a good, safe week.
There you go.
Looking forward to the return of Marc-Andre Fleury to the Fortress.
Should be great. Chief.
Hey, it's great that I was back in studio.
Great to have you back.
Two gentlemen. Everybody be safe out there.
Everybody, thank you for watching. Top of the hour, Aaron's Hour. Yours truly. I've got Luke Perry coming in with a special in-studio guest. Rose Kingsley will be joining me to talk about her show next week up at the Summerlin Library, the music of Andrew Lloyd Webber. Goofy, silly stuff. Who knows what else I got going on? It's always a grab bag show. Thank you for watching, everybody. Be kind to everybody. Was that? Hey, we're all we got. Have a great week from Thoughts Count Anywhere.